What's up, everybody? Steve from Pursuit for Better here, and it's been 8 months since my last update. Things have been pretty nuts for my family, and I felt like I owed an opportunity to kind of share what's been going on, why I haven't been uploading any content, the things that have been going on in my family's life, and where we are headed in the future. And so I'll kind of start with a little bit of an update. So I think as of the last time that I uploaded, we were over in a house in the Seattle, Washington area, and much like many of you, the pandemic, lockdowns, all this stuff kind of happened, and we found ourselves kind of, bundled up in a little house, in the middle of the Washington area where it rains constantly and it's gray and gloomy, and, I think all of it just exacerbated the need to make a change. And so it was only a month or two later after that, my family and I decided that we were going to make a very big move. And so we essentially moved about as far as you could. We moved from the Seattle, Washington area to the Central Florida area. We just wanted a change of weather, change of pace a little bit, and just be able to enjoy the sun. For those that have heard, the stories of it being, rainy and cloudy 9 months out of the year in Seattle, it's very true. I love the rain, but you can only take so much of it. Anyway, so we moved across country, and a side effect of everything that's been going on over the last 8 months, I think, has led me to be, unfortunately, wildly inconsistent with keto. As you can see, I probably have a little bit of an extra chin from the last time that we spoke, and I'll get to that in just a minute. But honestly, just with the stresses of what was going on with the pandemic, move, changed job situation, same company, just a different job, just all these kind of things, I think I allowed the stresses and all that to overtake me. And unfortunately, I kind of was waffling a lot when it came to living the ketogenic lifestyle. Now, I didn't abandon it completely by any means, but I was just wildly inconsistent. I'd be on it for a couple of weeks and then take a weekend off, and then on it for a few more weeks and take a week off, and then it seemed like I was going more off of it than I was on it. It was difficult to stay focused on that when we were moving and we were trying to pack and we were living out of suitcases for a while, and then again with the depression that came along with the pandemic, it was hard. And so I put on probably about 25 pounds from what I'd lost. Now, that sounds horrible, at least, saying it out loud, especially after losing 95 pounds. It's like, oh my gosh, I've put on 25. But the one thing I will say is that I'm actually not fully discouraged about it. And the reason for that, for a lot of you that have dealt with, weight issues for a lot of your life, the story, right? You lose 20 and you gain 30 back because you get tired or bored or you just are hungry or whatever, right? Starvation, all those kind of things. You gain 30 back, then you lose 40, and you gain 50, and so there's that up and down yo-yo, and I followed it my whole life, which is why I got up to that massive weight of 350 pounds. But the one thing I will say is that over 8 months, yes, I gained 25 pounds, but the fact that I'm sitting here right now, I'm stopping. I'm done with that. I'm making the decision to be done, with this waffling, going back to what I know, going back to what I enjoy, and I really do enjoy the ketogenic lifestyle. I'm deciding today to be done with that. And I think, honestly, I said before, I was a little bummed to speak those words that I've gained 25, but the fact that I didn't gain 95 or maybe even more like I have done in the past is kind of a good thing for me. I'm kind of excited about that, even though I am bummed that I got to re-lose a few of the pounds that I lost, but that's okay. So having said all of that, I'm actually stoked about what's coming, and in a lot of ways, not just for getting back on the ketogenic lifestyle, but also for this channel, because I got some really cool stuff that's going to be happening. My wife, who I think probably about 10 or 11 months after I started keto the first time, finally jumped on board, and she's a wonderful cook, and she's has decided to jump on and help do some recipes and things that she's made, which we absolutely love. You'll actually get to kind of meet her coming up here probably in a few days. So I'm excited about that. Moving into this new house, as you guys remember, I had kind of a smaller gym kind of in my garage over at the other house. After building a bunch of shelves for storage in this house here, we're building a little bit bigger of the gym. Same equipment, we brought it all with us, thankfully. But I'll be building that out, and I might even record some of that, just to kind of get you in on watching me kind of put the gym together. The shelves and all that stuff's already been done and built out, so I didn't, that's all done. It'll just be the general gym build out, but I think it'll be cool to kind of put that together. In fact, today, February 1st, depending on you're watching this, we actually did our first workout today, honestly, in probably about 6.5 months. That's how long it's been since I actually sat down. We've done evening walks and stuff, but actually sat down purposefully working out. And so I feel like, there's this corner that's being turned. So having said all of that, I don't know where you're at right now. I don't know, how this pandemic has been affecting you. I don't know if you're one of the strong ones that have been able to just stay with everything. And I know there are some of you out there, and I tip my hat to you, and I think everybody watching tips our hat to you. It's awesome that you've been able to stay consistent with what you're doing and consistent in the ketogenic lifestyle. But if you're like many, maybe you found yourself in my shoes where you've been kind of waffling a little bit. You've been in of it and out of it, and have just been struggling just because of a lot of things, right? You may have found yourself facing a job loss, or maybe you found yourself with a sick family member, or maybe, even like us, we've had some family members that we've lost due to this, and it's been hard. It's so hard when you're just feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders to stay true to eating, healthy. But I will say, some of the realization that I think my wife and I are coming to is that even though it's so difficult during these stressful and hard times to stay focused on staying healthy and eating healthy, there's no better time to do it than when you're in the middle of those things. Stress causes so much other damage to your body that when you're not feeding it right, it just exacerbates that so much. So if you're watching this today and you're like, hey, you know what? I know that I fell off, a week ago, a month ago, 6 months ago. Maybe you've never even started. I'm just going to encourage you to make today the day that you start making those better choices. I'm going to have another video coming up here probably within the next 4 or 5 days, maybe a week, where I talk about this whole idea of it being the hardest part about starting is starting. But to give away the punchline for right now, just start. Just do something. No matter where you're at, no matter what day of the week it is, don't be one of those people like I was forever where it's like, oh, I'm going to start Monday, or I'm going to start the first of the month, or I'm going to start, yes, it happens to be the first of the month today, but that's not the reason why. Just start. Just get back on what you know to do. Start learning. Start buying the right foods. Start eating the right foods. Just make that decision and get yourself back on track. Anyway, thanks for hearing me out today. And again, I apologize for the length of time. It should not be that long again. I'm excited about getting back on keto in a strict way. Again, we've been on and off of it for the last few months, but I'm excited to be back to being strict. I'm excited to be back into getting some exercise again. I'm excited for that. I'm hoping you're excited to get that started as well. If you have any questions at all, please drop them down in the comments. If you're new to my channel, please, one of the best things you can do for a small channel like mine is to go and like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell notifications so you don't miss an update anytime I do put out a new video, and comment below. I have a lot of other content that I've made over I say a lot, it's not a whole lot, but it's some content that I've made over the beginning of last year, and in regards to getting yourself started. If you're new to keto, I'll put a link down to it in the description about getting your mind right, and just beginning with the right mindset, because mindset is a huge deal. But no matter what, get started, get on it, and we're going to do this together. I'm excited for you to be joining me. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.